Alright, what's going on, guys, and welcome to this week in Ring of Honor episode number 4 for you guys for this week. And I gotta say, once again, with Ring of Honor for this week and being on TV for the fourth straight week in a row, I gotta say it was another good show. And it seems like we kind of had a lot going into this week's episode, and in a way, Ring of Honor getting a bit more serious, if you will. And we start things off, or we end things off last week with the World Heavyweight Championship matchup with the whole highlight video package with that, where we had Davey Richards taking on Roderick Strong. It was a good back and forth battle between those two for the World Heavyweight Championship, and which I highly suggest you guys go check out if you guys have not checked that match out or did not see the main event from last week. Then we kick things off right after that with Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness, and with the commentators and basically running down what's going to be what we're going to be seeing for Ring of Honor for this week, with a tag team matchup and as well for a regular singles match, which I'll get into in just a little bit. And right after that, we do kick things off with the first matchup of the night, and getting into that right now. The number one contender matchup for the tag team championships, and the winner will get to face the world's greatest tag team. I believe it might be next week, I'm not entirely sure, or it could be within the next couple of weeks, so I'm not entirely sure when that match for the tag team championships will happen, but we'll have to wait and see what's going to come to that. But anyway, we had the Briscoes taking on the All Night Express, and what was a good way to kick things off for the first matchup of the night. Good tag team match, and good back and forth tag team work by both of these tag teams here. And of course, the Briscoes being the heel in this one, and as well the All Night Express being the face tag team. And running things down briefly, what we did get to see here, we see epic spot to the floor, which I believe was done by the All Night Express at 1.2, which was pretty crazy there. And the ball on the outside, and as well, like I mentioned, the great tag team work and the good chemistry by the Briscoes and the All Night Express here. And in the end, who ended up getting the win here? Actually, the Briscoes ends up getting the win, but with the referee distracted, and we saw the low blow too as well, with the Briscoes to the All Night Express. So that's what basically happened with that. And yes, the Briscoes do end up winning this match and advancing into the tournament matchup that was made with that match. So it was a tournament match to see who faced the world's greatest tag team. So that's basically what happened with that. Then right after that, we have Jim Cornette basically pissed off on how the tag team match ended and how the Briscoes won. So basically, the Briscoes are not the number one contenders at all, and we will have that situated and probably have a ring match or something like that. So we have to wait and see where that's gonna go. So that should definitely be interesting. So that's what basically happened when Jim Cornette came out with that. Then we get into the main event. We have Eddie Edwards and alright, sorry about that brief little distraction there, but after Jim Cornette, we did have the main event. As I was getting into it, we had Eddie Edwards in this one taking on Michael Elgin, and with this one, I thought it was a pretty good match, and we see some pretty good things by both of these guys too as well. And this wasn't for a number one contendership or anything like that. It was just a plain old singles match between these two in the main event. And running things down on what we did get to see here in this one, we see the test of strength in this one, as well as the knife edge chops battle basically between these two. We see the standing suplex, which is pretty cool to see there, as well as the Hurricane Rana and the arm drag. And good back and forth battle with these two as well. We also see epic suicide dive too, which was done by Eddie Edwards, and actually taking out the fans in this one by the barricades, so that was actually pretty crazy there as well. We see the front suplex in this one, and in the end, who ends up getting the win? And that's right, Eddie Edwards gets the win here and defeating Michael Elgin. And basically, for me, seeing these two for the first time, so they put on a good a pretty good to good matchup between these two. And I was pretty impressed by it, so nothing really bad to say about it or bitch or complain about that with that one. So that about does it with that on all the matches for this week in Ring of Honor. That just show what's going to happen with the tag team championship matchup, and who's going to be facing of course, the world's greatest tag team, whether it be the Briscoes or the All Out Express, or even to be a triple threat match. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. So, with that being said, let me know what you guys thought on Ring of Honor for this week, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you thought should have been more differently, and what are your thoughts on some of the matches and for tonight, basically the 2 matches that we had, and what do you think is going to happen with the tag team championship match? Who's going to face the world's greatest tag team? What are your thoughts? And of course, do not be afraid to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments. And of course, I love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. And that's it for this week in Ring of Honor episode number 4. And I will see you for this week in Ring of Honor episode number 5. And as always, I will talk to you guys, of course, most definitely later on.